They thought they were entering hell and found it was real. Every step forward felt heavier, burdened by the smell of death. The train stood still, carrying hundreds who would never speak again. He'd seen war before, but nothing prepared him for this. Freedom came too late for most, but it still meant everything. There were no orders now, no mercy, no time for trial. Justice and fury clashed inside him, like thunder trapped in a cage. Revenge came faster than thought, louder than conscience or law. Stop this madness, we're soldiers, not executioners of ghosts. Liberation and damnation stood side by side, staring at each other. Winter had not left, it merely moved inside human hearts. Even starvation had rules. Here, survival was the only prayer. The instruments of death were clean, efficiency born from cruelty. Science had become a sermon to gods that demanded human sacrifice. They didn't see people, only data carved into dying flesh. He had fought monsters, now he realized they wore human faces. They waited for mercy that no one here remembered how to give. He wanted justice, but what came next would haunt him forever. The war is ending, he said, but the madness isn't over yet. The camp still breathed, but every breath whispered the price of silence. Orders vanished in the wine, only vengeance remained to command them. He didn't see faces anymore, just uniforms painted in guilt. The wall itself seemed to bleed, history cracking under rage. He screamed, but the roar of chaos swallowed every trace of reason. No trial, no verdict, just silence claiming another broken truth. He saw freedom arrive dressed in the same fury as his jailer. He realized victory could still sound like a confession of sin. The difference between uniforms meant nothing to the dirt beneath them. The line between soldier and murderer blurred like breath in the cold. Dachau fell silent again, but the silence carried its own scream. The smoke still hung in the air, but the rage had gone. He wondered whose freedom he'd just fought for, theirs or his. Every step was an apology, whispered too late to be heard. They carried ghosts that still breathed, survivors of something beyond war. Even the rescuers trembled before the sight of what was saved. The handwriting was neat, evil always liked to look organized. He thought of heaven, but the air still smelled of burned men. He inhaled to forget. exhaled to remember what could never fade. Their eyes thanked and accused at once, gratitude tangled with grief. Liberation had come, but peace still refused to set foot here. The war had ended outside, but inside, it had just begun. He couldn't tell his mother what freedom really looked like. The living envied the dead, they at least could rest. Hope was fragile here, it breathed only when someone whispered it. Healing looked the same as guilt, quiet, careful, never complete. Some truths were too heavy, so they turned them into smoke. He prayed for mercy, but mercy had lost its way here. He saw a liberator and a killer staring back from one face. The light returned slowly, afraid to touch what still remembered. They left Dachau behind, but Dachau never left them again. They were going home, but none of them truly left Dachau. He kept it not for pride, but to remember what pride destroyed. The silence of the camp spoke louder than any final report. Their eyes begged the trucks to never return with another army. Behind them lay ghosts, ahead, a world not ready to listen. Every drop felt like confession, washing nothing, remembering everything. Hunger returned, but appetite for meaning never would again. The papers showed victory, but not the trembling hands behind it. He saw justice, revenge, and regret braided into one reflection. Nature forgave the ground, but men still carried its curse inside. They asked what happened, but some truths don't fit into words. He feared the ink would bleed guilt instead of honest memory. History became film reels, sharp enough to cut through generations. They learned of war's victory, but not of its inheritance. He read each one slowly, searching for forgiveness among strangers. They celebrated survival, though none believed they truly survived. He answered with silence, the only honest language left to him. Behind each frame, he saw the faces he once tried to forget. The past watched the present, patient, unblinking, unwilling to fade. He finally understood. Remembering was harder, but forgetting was unforgivable. The world had healed, but the war still whispered in his bones. He smiled, a sound like peace, foreign yet painfully familiar. He touched the past softly, as if afraid it might breathe again. He'd built a life, but part of him never left that courtyard. The ripples widened like years, circling the truth he couldn't name. Each grave was quiet testimony that victory never comes without cost. He didn't pray for peace, only for the strength to remember. Even flowers seemed fragile beneath the weight of unspoken grief. Forgiveness was a journey, not a place his heart had found. The sun set gently, as if mourning what man had become. We thought we were saving the world. Instead, we only survived it. Sir, how could liberators become killers? Because sometimes, justice bleeds into rage before anyone can stop it. They saw not a hero, just a man haunted by doing right. He realized memory wasn't punishment, it was responsibility reborn. He stood beside them still, across decades, guilt never aged. The room fell silent, as if history itself held its breath. The sound felt hollow, applause could never cleanse the past. Remember Dachau, he said, not for death, but for what we became. The world still turned, mercifully unaware of how close it once came. The war had ended decades ago, yet peace arrived only now. Every face was younger than his memory dared to remember. History must speak softly, or no one will dare to listen. They shone like ghosts, honors earned by surviving what should not exist. He breathed in life again, simple, fragile, undeserved yet real. She said nothing. Mercy sometimes speaks best through silence. We can't undo it, but we can refuse to forget. Their joy was proof that memory, though heavy, still protects the living. The page remained open, a quiet prayer left for tomorrow. For every war ends, yet its echo becomes the conscience of mankind.